Boye stood in front of me, close enough that I could see his expression clearly, yet I felt as though we were standing on opposite sides of an abyss. At some point during those years in prison, I finally understood something cruel. Whether I had been innocent back then no longer mattered in the slightest. Truth had lost all meaning. What truly mattered was this: from beginning to end, he had never trusted me. Not even once. I told him calmly not to pretend now, not to suddenly act as if lingering feelings still existed between us. The moment those words left my mouth, his voice turned sharp, demanding to know who had taught me to speak like that. I looked at him and answered without hesitation. It was him. He was the one who personally taught me how to speak like this. He was the one who crushed every trace of love I once had, grinding it into dust. After destroying my heart, devouring the Tang family, and leaving my life in ruins, what more could he possibly want from me? I told him I had nothing left. Nothing at all. All I wanted was my son. I begged him, quietly, desperately, to let me go and give my child back to me. He agreed. But his condition was worse than rejection. That night, he ordered me to go to Mago and accompany one of his clients for drinks. For a brief moment, the world seemed to tilt. I asked him if he truly meant to humiliate me like this, to trade my dignity for my own flesh and blood. His reply was cold and merciless. If I wanted my child, I would do it. If I couldn't even manage that much, then I didn't deserve to ask. He assumed I would retreat. He were wrong. I agreed. If one round of drinking could bring my son back, I would risk my life without hesitation. My life had already been torn apart, piece by piece. Shattering what remained meant nothing to me anymore. Even Boye looked irritated, unsettled. Perhaps he hadn't expected me to submit so easily. Or perhaps he hadn't expected me to still have the strength to stand. That same night, at the Bo family residence, my son waited outside quietly for me. When Boye came and told him that from now on he would raise him, that he would even change his surname, my son didn't cry, didn't resist. He only asked one question. Had the legal process been completed? If Boye wanted to raise him, then he would have to fight his mother in court. Boye scoffed, claiming he was the child's biological father and needed no permission. But my son corrected him calmly, reminding him that he was born after the divorce, and by law, custody belonged to his mother. Even Boye was stunned, a 5-year-old, already this clear-headed. Then my son asked something even crueler. If he weren't his son, if he had been born to his mother and another man, would Boye still treat him the same? Boye answered instantly, rage flickering beneath his calm. Any man who dared touch her would be courting death. But my son shook his head slowly. He told him that Boye would never understand what their last 5 years had been like, and because of that, he could never be close to him. "I'm waiting for my mom," my son said softly. "Please do as you wish." Even Boye had to admit it. This mother and son were not easy to deal with.
When I was waiting to meet him at that night,
The words I had buried for half a lifetime spilled out. From my youth until now, I had loved him for 15 years. I had endured suffering that felt like an entire lifetime for that love. But now I finally understood. We were impossible, and the price of learning that truth was utter ruin and the complete destruction of my family. As I walked away, only one question echoed relentlessly in my mind. How did we end up like this? And more importantly, who had been pulling the strings from the shadows all along? Later that night at Mago, the lights were harsh and the music deafening. A stranger approached me with a lazy smile, asking if I was alone and wanted to have some fun. I told him I had an appointment. He laughed, grabbed my wrist, and said I could have that appointment with him first. Suddenly, Boye arrived at the scene and, free my hand from the stranger, told him to, enraged, "Get lost."